Hey guys, welcome back to my Lady Boss YouTube channel. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it on how to have a work and life balance. And you know, a lot of times we get so busy and so consumed with our work life that we sometimes forget how to live a little and have a personal life outside of that. So that's why I feel like it's super important to try to obtain both, because yes, your career and everything like that is very important, but at the same time you have to take care of yourself personally as well too. And just, do things that are fun, do things that help fulfill you as a person, and just try to have that really good balance between the two, because that is how you'll feel so accomplished at the end of the week. You'll feel so much more fulfilled. You'll just feel honestly the happiest, and that is what we can all strive to get towards. So before we do get started into this video, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do post videos every Thursday, and I will link my Instagram handle down below as well too, so you can follow me on social media. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a couple tips that I have in order to obtain this work and life balance. My tip number one is to plan accordingly. So this is really crucial only because this is kind of giving you like an overall picture on how your week is going to look like and what you can do to plan in order to, get everything accomplished that you need to accomplish after you get off work. So for example, if you need a day to meal prep because you don't want to go and buy food every single day and go out to eat. So if you're going to be that type to want to meal prep, select a day. Maybe Monday can be your day to set aside time to meal prep. Say for example too, you're that type that wants to go to the gym. Set a couple days and times aside during the week to be able to do this and accomplish it, because if you don't kind of set yourself up to say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym at this time, I'm going to go to the gym at these days, you might not be able to obtain this to hit your gym goals. Or the other thing too is if you do have like roommates and friends and like maybe a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's also really great to set time aside to make time to hang out with them. Like if it's you with your friends and roommates, make sure that you're not always just trying to get your busy stuff done or just get your errands done all the time or just go to the gym and never see anybody. Like your social life is actually really, really important. So if you can set aside a time to hang out with your roommates, chill on the couch, watch TV, talk a little bit, maybe have a wine night, do that. And say if you have a significant other, make sure that you set time aside to plan date nights. So that is super crucial. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can literally just be going to the movies or like planning to go out to eat at a casual, restaurant. Just be able to spend time with the people that you love and you care about. So that's why I think planning your week accordingly is a great way to feel super accomplished, with yourself personally. And the fact that like you still can have that social life and show to your friends that you want to spend quality time with them or spend quality time with your, significant other, because making other people feel valued will also help you kind of like de-stress and just kind of relax and just chill and hang out and just to kind of be yourself and let loose. So getting to this point where you can really try to balance everything out, schedule everything out. I know sometimes you might not be able to get to everything and all the errands that you need to run or spend time with the people you need to spend time with, but it's okay as long as you can kind of set yourself up for some type of, success so you feel great at the end of the week. That's all that matters. So I'll just kind of give you like a little bit of a rundown on how my weekly schedule looks like. So a lot of times lately, right now, currently, I try to meal prep at least on Mondays. That's usually my goal. Sometimes, I get a little lazy, so it kind of drags over to Tuesdays, but that's a normal, typical Monday where I set time aside to do meal prep. And then the fact is that usually Monday through Thursday, I will try to go to the gym. So I know that I am a night person when it comes to the gym. So I will either set time aside to tell myself, okay, on this day I can go right after work, or if I have to do something after work, like run errands or maybe go out to dinner with a friend or something like that and throw that in one of my like Monday through Thursday schedules, I will go to the gym later on in the evening, probably around like 9 or 10 o'clock. So at least I know that I can kind of plan stuff around during the week to be able to accomplish both of the things that I wanted to get done that day. And then usually, now that I have my YouTube channel going, I usually set time aside on Wednesdays to record a video. And then on Thursdays, that's usually the days that I post my videos, of course, as you probably have known. And that's the day that I start to kind of finish my editing and then post the video. So that's kind of how I plan, at least Monday through Thursday. Then when it comes to Friday, I normally will go ahead and set time, a lot more time aside for my boyfriend, because him and I, we have opposite schedules during the week. And I know not everybody's like this, and you just need to work with what works with you. So a lot of times on Fridays, I will go ahead and we'll plan something fun to do, just because it's nearing towards the end of the week, and it'll just be something that, him and I can have just quality time. And then on the weekend, obviously, like, that's when we get to spend the most time with each other. But usually my Monday through Friday schedule, that's how it would normally go. And then Saturday, Sunday is just kind of like a free-for-all. Sometimes I have to work a little bit, sometimes I don't, and I can actually have 2 full free days off, which is super nice, because I do work long hours. So that's kind of just a rough schedule and estimate on what I want to do. I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form, so I try to always do this. I'm pretty good at staying consistent with this schedule, but at the same time, sometimes I just have such a stressful day at work. I don't want to go to the gym. I just want to sit home, hang out with my roommates, hang out with my friends, go out to dinner, whatever, drink a glass of wine, and call it a night. So it's all about having that work and life balance that will really help you kind of schedule and make a good flow with your whole entire, week, and just make you feel like you're getting so much done, plus also being super accomplished at the end of your week. My tip number 2 is to value your morning routines. So I do have a whole entire completely separate video on just how to have a morning routine or to start a morning routine. So I'll link that up above and you can kind of go and check it out later. But so pretty much having a really good morning routine will definitely help set you up and kind of set the tone for the rest of the day and how it's going to go. So if you're that type of person who would like to read a book before you get out of bed, or like to kind of do meditation or even yoga, a lot of times people do that nowadays, or even if it's just, maybe even you're not a night person like I am and you don't want to go to the gym at night, you go in the morning. Some people go at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm not like that. Some other people are. But the fact that, like, if you want to get up out of bed, go to the gym first thing, get that out of the way before you get to work, by all means, if that's what works for you, go ahead and do it. That's great. And even too, like, I notice a lot of people also make breakfast before they go to work. So if that's something that you do and you like to sit down, have a nice breakfast, drink your cup of coffee, and just kind of relax and sit in that silence, then that is so great to do. Like, that is one thing where I think people should value a lot more, is what they love to do in the mornings, because like I said, it kind of sets you up for how the rest of the day will go. And I feel if you do keep this up and you don't cut this short, because like I said, this, to be honest, is probably a really crucial part of how people can feel, that they have that equal balance in their lives. Because if you cut this short, you're kind of cutting like that mental recharge that you need. Because if you enjoy the quiet in the mornings, if you enjoy your podcast or whatever it is, do what you love to do in order to kind of fuel yourself, to mentally recharge, and do whatever it takes in order for you to kind of start your day off in a great way. But honestly, if you can implement a morning routine or keep up with your morning routine, that is what I do really highly suggest to really feel like you have that work and life balance. My tip number 3 is to be realistic. So as you guys know, I love to keep it real with people. I will tell it straight. I will give advice, real raw advice straight to you. And the fact is that, like, this is really important, is to just be realistic with what you can accomplish throughout your week. Because a lot of times people set these extravagant things that they need to do, all these things, by like pretty much by the end of the day, and they don't accomplish it. And then they're just like, oh, okay, that sucks. Like, I guess I could do this tomorrow, and then they put it off the next day and the next day. And like, it's just something where if you kind of give yourself an overload of things to do and you're not realistic with how much time you have to set aside to obviously be at work and show up at work, and then what you need to do to get your personal stuff done at the end of the day, you have to be realistic with it, because then you're going to set yourself up for failure, and that's not what we're here to do, you guys. So if you work a 9-to-5 job, like I've already mentioned in my other tips, either you get stuff done before 9 a.m. before you have to go to work, or you do things right after you get off work at 5 p.m. Or if you're those other people who don't work every single day, you people keeping it real, you should not have any excuses to why you cannot have a good work-life balance, because if you're not working every single day, you can probably dedicate a few hours on those days that you have off to get your other stuff done and to just, work on your personal growth, personal happiness, errands, and hang out with significant others, hang out with your friends, whatever it is. So you people have no excuses. And then, so say for example, if you're that other type who has a job that you're working over 40 hours a week. So for those people, I do give you a little bit more slack. And that's where it's a little bit more of a challenge, only because if you're working so much and working those long hours, sometimes it's a lot harder to squeeze in all those things that you really need to get done, or just kind of have quality time with yourself or just other people. You'll need to go ahead and try to kind of plan yourself out a little bit more, kind of like what I mentioned earlier in my tip number 1. That's where it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but you can still get stuff done. Just don't try to overdo it, and just don't try to set yourself up to do too much or compensate too much, because like I said, just be realistic with it. Try to at least aim to get one thing done a day. Like for example, when I was giving you an example of how I run my schedule each week, I don't have a lot of time. I don't work 9 to 5. I work over that. I work over 40 hours a week. So the fact is that I do have a tiny window to get stuff done or hang out with my friends or just relax and have my own alone time. So if you're like that and you're like me, be able to plan it out for yourself, because honestly, that is the best advice that I can give to you for those people who do work over 40 hours a week. My last and final tip is to live a little. So in fact, if you're the type to kind of plan out your whole week, to just, have a whole broad, big picture of what you need to do to have that good work-life balance, this is something where I do highly recommend to kind of intertwine in that whole entire thing, only because you should be able to live a little, not live a complacent life. And if it's starting to feel too routine-like and you're just not excited about anything anymore and it's just kind of just boring to you, just start to switch it up a little bit. So the fact is, if you want to start to add in a dance class, randomly take a dance class, once a week, that'd be so great to do. And if it's not something that you normally would do, go ahead and start doing it. A lot of times people do join adult sports leagues. So whether you're into soccer, basketball, volleyball, softball, baseball, whatever it is, that'd be fun to do. And that's usually later on in the evening. So a lot of people, can just go straight after they get off work. So whatever type of interest that you have, and if you're just, like I said, starting to get complacent, this is a really great place where you can kind of throw a little mix into your whole entire weekly routine, just so you can switch it up a little bit, keep life a little spicy and interesting. But other than that, live life to its fullest, and just, do what works for you, and just make it so your life isn't boring, and just keep it exciting, you guys. Alright, so I'm going to close out this video, and I hope that you did really enjoy it. Also, guess what? I'm so excited to, as a side note, I just got a couple new subscribers, and I'm so excited that my channel is, slowly growing, and I don't know, it's just, super exciting, and I just, want to share my stories and my journey, and I hope that, everybody else kind of enjoys them as well, too. But anyways, I just really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you do really find a really good work and life balance for yourself, because I think it's really important, because like I said, a lot of times people get so consumed with what they're doing with work, and they kind of forget to live life, and they kind of just, get complacent in their relationships, or just kind of put all their social life on hold. And life is too short, of course, as cliche as that sounds, but it is. You can't just dedicate all your time and effort to work. You have to take care of yourself personally. You have to take care of yourself, because in order for you to be happy, to create happy relationships within your life as well too, you have to be happy with yourself. And if you're just dedicating it all to one thing and not working on personal growth, or just having your own alone time that you appreciate and that you can reflect and just do things that you want to do, then you need to go ahead and start doing those in order to feel fulfilled with your life. So I'm going to close out this video, and like I said, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I do really appreciate it. But I will see you in my next week's video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.